Truthful words are not beautiful. Beautiful words are not truthful. Good men do not argue. Those who argue are not good. Those who know are not learned. The learned do not know. The sage never tries to store things up. The more he does for others, the more he has. The more he gives to others, the greater his abundance. The Tao of heaven is pointed but does no harm. The Tao of the sage is work without effort. Well, you guys, this is it, the final chapter. It's taken us a little over 3 months and 87 videos, but we have finally reached the end of the Tao Te Ching. Lao Tzu doesn't really leave us with any parting words of farewell, but he does reiterate on several important points that have been covered throughout the body of the text. Truthful words are not beautiful. Beautiful words are not truthful. Often, the things that are most important for us to hear will seem abrasive or unpleasant. Sometimes, the truths we need the most will be the hardest ones to accept. If someone is expounding to us a philosophy that always feels pleasant and comfortable, it is probably skimming over the inconvenient facts that ultimately will cause the most improvement in our lives. Lao Tzu also advises us not to argue with each other, and warns us of the dangers of equating scholarly knowledge with actual wisdom. We are also advised not to spend our efforts amassing treasures and possessions, but to spend our time and energy helping others. I appreciate the line that says, "The more he does for others, the more he has." We tend to look at giving and helping as a zero-sum game. The more I give to you, the less there is for me. But the Tao Te Ching rejects this notion. According to Lao Tzu, giving and helping is a positive-sum game. The more is given to others, the more there is for the self. The actual mechanics of how this all works may seem a little mysterious, and rightly so. If I can add a bit of my own interpretation here, I can think of at least one way that this ends up being the case. When we live our lives with no other object than to satiate our own cravings for comfort, luxury, and safety, we fight a losing battle. The most miserable people I have ever met are almost invariably those who seek their own comfort above all else. This is partly because our comfort and pleasure levels do not remain static, but follow a moving baseline. Whatever was pleasurable yesterday becomes less pleasurable the more times we do it. Therefore, no amount of comfort or pleasure will ever be enough to satisfy us if we have dedicated our lives to the pursuit of pleasure or comfort alone. Also, I am of the notion that we live in a universe that is far less concerned with our comfort than it is with our development. Because of this, events and circumstances will continually harass us at the borders of our comfort zones, until we finally capitulate and step out of them. Fighting against the universe is a very futile proposition, and it's just not very fun. If we instead choose voluntarily to forsake our own comfort and seek to fulfill our purpose in helping and assisting others, we will find the satisfaction that comes along from going with the flow of the stream that our lives are meant to flow in. We will find that, far from diminishing, our pleasure begins to increase. If we seek that pleasure itself, it remains ever elusive. If we just seek to follow our specific path to Tao, we get the pleasure thrown in. Thus, by following Tao, which involves caring for others, we find there is more left over for us. The duties we perform on our way to Tao may require work, but they won't feel like strain or forcing. If not always easy, they will feel natural and right. It will feel like our lives are on the right path. Okay, well, that is just about it for us in the Tao Te Ching series. Now, I do say just about because I'm still planning on at least one more piece of Tao Te Ching content. I am going to take a bit of a hiatus for a few days, but then I'm going to start work on a video that I intend to be a sort of guide to what I consider to be the main takeaways from the Tao Te Ching. I'm going to spend a little extra time on this video, so it will be a little longer coming out than usual, but hopefully it'll be worth the wait. In the meantime, the best way to stay connected with me will be through the Discord. I'll still be in there being at least somewhat active, so please feel free to jump in and ping me or send me a DM. I would love to hear from you guys. The last thing I want to say is that I am just very grateful for the support that you guys have shown throughout the series. The channel and Discord have both grown, and I've learned a lot about Taoism, about making videos, and just life lessons in general. And seeing you guys take the time to write nice stuff in the comments or come say hi in the Discord has really meant a lot to me. It really helps me out a lot. So, I will see you all when I see you, and in the meantime, I'm gonna buckle down and go over like 90,000 words of material to try and pull out what I think is most worth knowing from the Tao Te Ching. And I will see you all whenever I'm done with that. Peace and blessings.